Oh my gosh, you should be so excited. I completed my pod pitch invites take sheet. I created it. It's done. Well, really, let me just say that I'm super excited. Like, I feel strangely euphoric that I completed my pod pitch invites take sheet so I can track how many invites I am emailing out, how many guest speaking requests I'm emailing out, so I can get booked on podcasts. So I'm going to talk about that right now, and I'm also going to give you some statistics and that prove that tracking your what do we want to call it? That tracking your performance will help you grow.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Misha Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
All right, that was probably one of the sketchiest, worst intros I've done in a long time. I was so excited to get after it and tell you about tick sheets and performance. And there's this guy out there that I found who proved there's a law, like if you measure performance, it's proven that you'll do better, you'll get better results. Because I went down this rabbit hole. This rabbit hole of performance, or what do we want to call it? Tracking your activities. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. Let's start here. When I was a telemarketer back in the day, when I started in my sales, I can't remember how or why I learned this, but I started tracking how many phone calls I would make. Yes, I remember why. I was working in a boiler room, telemarketing boiler room, selling commodities. I was a commodities broker, retail commodities broker, and we were selling wheat options or something like that. And we created this. I hadn't created it. The team I worked for had created this crazy pitch on why the price of wheat was going to go up. So we were telemarketing. It was my first foray into like real phone sales. Oh my gosh, where I was committed and all in, and they expected you to make 150 phone calls a day or something like that. And so we would track it. And so the habit of tracking my phone calls started there. And when I ended up in mortgages, I started telemarketing. I'd build lead lists. I'd get the phone numbers. You call it a reverse append. So I would get addresses of houses that had home loans, and I'm like, that person needs a home loan or needs to refi or something like that, right? And or of people who were listing their houses, because those people need to buy new houses. Usually someone who's selling is buying. And so I'd cobble together all these lists. I'd access databases, and oftentimes there's no phone numbers associated with it, so you'd need to go get the phone numbers. So I'd get the phone numbers, and anyway, I would track how many phone calls that I made, how many telemarketing phone calls that I made. And I had a tick sheet that I created, and these are all hand tick sheets, by the way, so I would literally mark call 1, call 2, call 3, right? I'd dial the phone, check the box. Dial the phone, check the box. This was back when I was hand dialing. Of course, then you had the auto dialers, and they track the numbers for you. But so I track dialed phone number, answers, yes, no's, yeses, follow-ups, and you would see how the numbers would work. You just knew if you made 150 phone calls, 10 people would answer, 8 would say not interested, 2 would say interested, and then you track the follow-ups, right? So you're like, okay, I'm making new phone calls, hearing new no's, but then I'm following up with people. So you're tracking the follow-ups, and the numbers would work. And then you can increase those numbers and start tweaking and stuff like that. So I've been wanting to make a pod pitch invite tick sheet, and I started by handwriting it down. I just quickly wrote on a piece of paper, pod pitch emails sent, follow up sent. You get another box is go to form. So what happens is as you're sending out invites, hosts or their assistants or the podcast managers will reply back with a go fill out this form. And then you get no's, and then you get booked, obviously. So I started doing that for a couple days, just writing, what's the word I'm looking for? Haphazardly, not haphazardly. Like it's just not very pretty. And, but that was as I've started sending out emails, that was the basis or the initial thoughts of, okay, what am I trying to track here as I'm sending out emails, and what are the responses I'm getting back, and am I getting booked? And so, but I couldn't print it out or do this. So I finally yesterday created my tick sheet, and I'm so ecstatic. I can print it out, and it's beautiful, and I used it for the first time yesterday. My pod pitch invites tick sheet, and I have little instructions at the top. Put a tick in the box for each action taken. First box is the date, so you write in the date. Then the next box, pod pitch emails sent. I ticked off 4 because I used it yesterday. Follow-ups, pod pitch sent. I have not created my follow-up script yet. Actually, I have created it. I haven't put it into a usable format yet. So it's the rough draft is written, almost ready to go. But then I have all the boxes on there. Fill out this form to guest speak. Received. Form filled out. Fill out this form to host said speaker. Received. Filled out. Not at this time. Email received. Speaking appearance booked. Speaking appearance booked. Hosting speaker booked. Because I'm also saying, hey, I'd love to have you on my show. So I've got that box. But then I had this epiphany, which I said on the previous podcast episode, where Amy Porterfield's team said, hey, we don't want you on our show right now, but thanks for the great pitch. It's awesome, but now's not a good time. And I was inspired to think, oh my gosh, I need to reply to them. How about if I teach a master class to your group or to your audience or something like that, right? They have Facebook groups, Zoom groups, all these kinds of things. So I could perhaps teach directly to her, like maybe she's got a membership, or I'm sure she's got some sort of crew that pay her monthly. So I could teach directly to them, to her students. That's what I'm trying to say. Geez. So I created a little subsection. How about I teach a master class? Emails sent or text DM sent. because at the same time, I do want to start teaching to classes. I want to start teaching master classes to people's groups, to people's students. That's another great way to get your message out. So I created a follow-up to Not a Good Fit at this time with that How About I Teach a Masterclass email, or it's just a cold outreach, because you could start with that email. How about I teach a masterclass? And then I've got follow-ups, teach a masterclass sent, fill out this form to teach received, form filled out, not at this time email received, teaching appearance booked. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to that. But I am ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic. I feel like the floodgates have been opened. Like I can start tracking daily, easily, my emails sent. I can start seeing what the results are. I can start getting that data, and it's so exciting. And so I'm going to go on with this. Allison Prince. I use Allison Prince's yearly planner, her yearly/daily planner, and she's got a quote in there, and it says she's got stat boxes in the daily plan in the planner. She has stat boxes in the planner. So there's a monthly section, and you track your monthly statistics. And she has a quote: "When performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported, the rate of improvement accelerates." And this dude named Monson said that. And I'm like, I love that quote, but who the heck is Monson? So this morning, by the way, I'm sitting in my bed recording this at 6 a.m. Doors are open. It's a beautiful Encinitas day by the ocean. The French doors are open. Like, I love podcasting. I'm just kicking it. I got this great little mobile mic on my iPhone. I'm recording an episode, sipping my coffee. How cool is that? Anyhow, I'm like, who's this Monson character? I love the quote that Allison Prince put in there, but who is he? So I Googled it. It turns out that Monson is the president of the LDS Church, of the Mormon Church. And I'm not sure why he said that quote, but he was talking in the 70s to some people doing a presentation, and he said, he put that quote in. So I dug a little further, and it turns out that the person responsible for this quote is, hold please, and by the way, I meant to say this, I made literally millions of dollars telemarketing. Like, telemarketing, I made millions of dollars, and it opened the gates to, my flyer campaigns, to getting the phones to ring, to just all these phone sales that I did. So I literally made millions of dollars from telemarketing and phone sales and flyer campaigns, and tick sheets were the backbone of that. Like, I was always tracking with tick sheets. Even when I was sending out flyers and the phones would start to ring, how many phone calls are coming in? How many flyers am I sending out? Obviously, what are the numbers? And so I'm so excited. Like, it's strangely, or maybe not so strangely, that tick sheet being done, I am freaking elated. And I can't wait to use it every day. It's like legitimacy to my process. Maybe that's it. Legitimacy to my process and what I'm doing here. And knowing that starting tracking at the most basic level is just going to lead to so much. It just does. And I think that's why I'm so excited. And probably it just brings back fond memories of my mortgage banking days, of my telemarketing days as well in the as a commodities broker, and then in tech sales. I was just tracking the numbers all the time, tracking my activities. Okay, hold on here. Back to where this quote came from. Okay, this quote came from, his name was Carl Pearson, and he was a statistician back in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and Albert Einstein studied this guy. Again, his name's Carl Pearson. Here, I've got it. I got his information right here. No, excuse me, Carl Pearson. He was born in 1857. He lived until 1936. He was an English mathematician and biostatistician who's credited with establishing the discipline of mathematical statistics. He was studied by Albert Einstein, and he founded the world's first university statistics department at University College in London in 1911. And he is the author of Pearson's Law, and that is, when performance is measured, performance improves. And when performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. So there you have it. That's the rabbit hole I went down. So I'm thinking that Allison Prince is perhaps Mormon, and perhaps her audience is Mormon, because at the end of that quote, she just put Monson. And I guess if you're Mormon, you know who Monson is. So I love that. And I'm also going to say this. I've been using Allison Prince's planner for almost a year now, and that little section of her planner of tracking your results has been there, and I need to track my results. And I've started tracking them a little bit, and all of a sudden now I'm like, yes, I can legitimately track my results with this tick sheet. And man, oh man, I'm excited. There you have it. Track your performance, create your own tick sheets, join my influence army, and you can jump on some podcasts with me and get access to my tick sheet, because I'm going to make it available to my members. All right, I got to get back to the day. I'm going to sip my coffee, enjoy this incredible Ensenada speech morning. Everyone have a good day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.